Hi, this is Kari from Tone Wars. We're going to go live in just a few minutes, but before we do, I just wanted to take a few seconds to say a few things. Jarrod and I really appreciate when you guys tune in and interact with us when we go live. We work very hard to make sure that our live streams and our produced videos are educational and entertaining for everyone. Believe it or not, there's a lot of work that goes into our live streams and our produced videos. So if you like what you're experiencing here, here's a couple ways you can help us out. The Super Chat feature is turned on and any amount will be appreciated. Jarrod is also available for private consultation for a nominal fee. You can contact Jarrod through two of the links below. One is through our Tone Wars Facebook page and the other is through email. So thank you so much for your support. The live stream's about ready to start, so go pour yourself your favorite glass of whiskey or other libation and we'll be right with you. Cheers!
Welcome to Tone Wars. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Sorry to keep you waiting. We're a lot of extra stuff that we had to dial in tonight.
Welcome to Tone Wars Sunday Night Edition.
Sunday Night Hang.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, and Kari's going to sing tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
It's been long awaited.
Yes, people have been requesting it left and right. So we pulled out an old song that we haven't played in years.
Yeah, a really long time.
4 years?
Yeah, maybe even longer.
Yeah,
We did it in our other bands.
Yeah. So we pulled that out and dusted it off today. So we're kind of, it's going to be one of those wing and a prayer things. Yeah, and she won't be doing some of the things that people were suggesting here tonight. She's a lady, so not going to happen. She's a professional. So anyways, looks like we got 18 people in here, which
Nice.
is awesome.
Yeah. Hello, all 18 of you.
Yes. Oh, Stainless Steel. What's up, buddy? Haven't seen him in a while. Jeff Cornell. Let's see here. Solar Guitar Studios. Ben Burnett. What's going on, buddy? Bucket is my god. Hey, y'all. What's going on, buddy?
See, we saw an old but familiar name, James Myers. Thank you for the compliment, by the way. I appreciate that, James.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Good to see you here. It's been a while. We haven't seen James face-to-face or, yeah. So, good to see you, man. Paul Smith, what's going on?
Hi, Paul. Return Dakota. Did you already say hi to
Hey,
him?
what's going on?
Do you know who that is? I don't know who that is.
I'm still trying to remember everybody's names, so I think I know Return Dakota as Return Dakota.
Ah, okay.
You're welcome to tell us your real name.
Right.
It's hard to keep track of everybody's real names. I think I saw Jim
Did you
Sieben
see
in
hi
here.
to Jim? I was just going to say Jim Sieben.
What's going on, Jim? What's going on, Dan? How you doing? Awesome. Good to see everybody here.
And Justin Ellis just popped in.
Awesome. Cool. Good to see everybody. Yeah, we're going to do some, we're going to talk about, I guess we should just go over the...
Yeah,
what
do
we're
it.
gonna
I
do.
don't have notes tonight,
Yeah,
so it's all in your head.
Oh, great. Well, this show's screwed.
I know. I'm going to sing, and we're going to do some viewer comments.
Yes, and we're also going to talk about, I've been seeing people here and there, like, go on YouTube and say, I sold all my amps,
Yes.
and we're going to cover that. So, and like, what that really, like, I'm just going to give kind of my thoughts on that for whatever that's worth, because I've done that. So I want to give my story on it, and hopefully that'll help some people as well.
Yeah, it's confusing being in a band with this one. He comes home one day and he's like, I'm never using an amp again. I got this Helix, it's amazing, and I'm throwing everything else away.
Yeah, it was an interesting journey I started, wasn't it?
And now if you look around, there's a lot more gear than what we started with.
Yeah, one back here, and I got some upstairs. So I want to kind of go over my journey with that. I don't want to give too much away. And also for a special treat, since I'm using the Kemper tonight for your song, because I'm going to use the piezo pickup, so I figured, well, while it's hooked up, I already have my Synergy Syn 5050 down here. Yeah. So we could do a comparison between running the Kemper direct and through the Syn 5050 and a real mic'd cab, and just I can tell you, like, you'll hear some differences hopefully, but I want to just talk about what I hear, you know, what I feel, and because a lot of people that I talk to say that they prefer one over the other, but without giving all that away, we'll just kind of wait and we'll have those conversations as the evening unfolds. So. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. So I want to make sure I'm hooked up to the right stuff here.
Stainless Steel says he practiced all day long today. Kemper's nice for that because the tone is never a thing.
Yeah. Yep.
And Jeff says one can never have too many amps, right?
That's right. There's a good guy right there, sticking up for the amp guys like me. This just becoming an amp hoarder. Hey, you can hoard all kinds of things. Why not hoard amps, you know?
Because they're really expensive.
Yes, they are. But there's other things that cost you more. By the way, cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. I'm going to not drink till after I sing.
Yeah,
just so
gotcha.
I don't, screw up my throat.
Well, aren't you professional and stuff? This is, what is this?
Smells really good.
Yeah.
Knob Creek Smoked Maple.
Yes, to our friend Jay Croft from Warm Chord Music, he suggested that for me. Yeah. And, oh my God, it's good.
It's really, really good.
It's really,
I
really
like this one with some cubes.
Yeah, usually
Not
like your
neat.
Stuff neat.
I do, yep.
Yeah.
But this one's got to have a cube. It's super, I like the burn, but it's super burny.
Yeah, it's very warm.
Yeah, which is why I'm afraid to drink it before I sing it. Burn the voice right out of me.
I'm practicing that chord I had trouble with earlier.
Right.
I wrote this song on a 6-string. And when we were rehearsing it earlier, I kept having a hard time finding the D minor.
I'm like, really? Really? Like
chord?
5 minutes. Wait, 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, the chord. And it's so weird. It's like when you play something that you wrote and play all the time on a 6-string and you go to a 7-string and play it, it's like I told her, it's like when you have 8 steps till you get to the floor down your staircase and you remove one of the steps. Yeah. And you got to like hop over. It just gives you that weird kind of like I'm in the wrong spot all the time. You feel that weird I'm in the wrong spot thing all the time. So that's my excuse. So if I flub this up later,
right.
That's why.
That's funny.
Yeah, the struggle's real. So how many people we got in here right now?
25.
25, 26. You be lying.
Mine says 25. We'll go with yours.
Sean Christopher, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you.
James Myers, what did he say? He said you used to be an amp hater, though.
Yeah. Yep.
How times have changed.
Yes. Well, I've come full circle. But I am using a Kemper tonight, and I have my reasons for that, too. So we're going to talk about all that. James also says, try E.H. Taylor. Very, very better. Whoa, way better bourbon. Well, hey. I'm down with trying anything once.
Next time.
Yeah. So do you wanna sing now? You wanna get your get your song done? Yeah. So let's get your song done here. And
I just pulled the microphone out of my butt. Did you see that? Here it is.
Well, do you have any other surprises tonight? You saw it here, folks.
Your microphone.
Where do you keep your microphone? You don't want to borrow it, though.
Don't forget, you got to mute that when...
Yes, I got to mute this. Let's just do a quick little sound check, make sure we got our levels right, and we'll go ahead and sing. Here we go. Well.
Ooh, I gotta turn my pack down.
Yeah.
He's screaming in my ear.
Sorry about that. I told you
Right,
that chord
here,
is like...
now it's time for
Oh, there we
this.
go.
There
Now
we
we need a whole bunch of this.
Right.
If you guys drink a bunch, maybe my mistakes will sound better.
Oh boy.
Holy
Alright, now
crap.
we gotta go see
Note to self. There's a lesson for you. Don't play 6-string songs on a 7-string. Good Lord.
Oh, they say my vocals needed to be turned up. She's not loud enough.
Oh gosh. Ah! They sound great here. I just,
my ears sound good.
Yeah. So
You always have, because you said you trust your ears.
Mhm.
And I wonder if it's because it's your mix where you've got guitars
usually
loud
my
and-
mix is pretty much what the house would be, but I mean, you never know. What?
It's funny.
It's funny. It's pretty accurate.
It's
usually.
the perfect mix in my head.
Well, we'll have to listen to it back, and we appreciate the feedback because you never know. I mean, because every time I've done like mixes with my iPad and stuff, it always sounds, when I watch it back, I'm like, sounds great, sounds perfect.
Yeah.
So tonight I was thinking, well, this should sound about right as well, but hey, you never know. Okay, so let's go over, what do you got going on there?
I had to start over again.
Oh, you got to add.
I gotta add what?
Oh.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you want me to skip that ad, do you?
No, because I want to make my 3 cents.
Right. That's okay. All right, so where do you want to start? I got turning up the vocals. Beautiful. Thank you very much for all of the compliments. Ed, it says, it sounds good on my iPhone. She may not sound loud enough if you're listening to her on monitors. Once they hit 100,000, they'll have to think about quitting their day jobs. I would love to do that,
Yeah,
right?
we would.
That's
right?
really what this is for. It's
Yeah.
like a retirement, early
Yeah.
retirement as soon as possible.
Yeah, this is like a serious venture for both of us. I mean, we
Yeah.
want to do this like as a, not just as a side thing, but as a business. Like we want to do this because I'm 50 and washing trucks and washing buildings and washing all that stuff. I can do it. I can still kick a lot of ass doing it, but it's, you know, you got to know, you got to start searching for your exit at a certain point. So on my highway of my journey, I'm starting to go, all right, I got to start picking exits, you know, and this is kind of hopefully my exit strategy. I'm just speaking for me, but yeah, I can only wash so many trucks and so many buildings before I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Before
So
your body wears out.
So if I don't start now, by the time I need to retire from that business, I won't have a retirement plan. So
Right.
Yeah.
Is that the acoustic simulator from the Chicago Todd?
Oh, no, actually, good question, because Kemper is coming out with one.
Yeah.
And you can actually use any guitar, any pickup selection, and it'll sound like an acoustic. Now, this is actually a piezo. On this guitar, there's a piezo. So, like... So the magnetics sound like this. The piezo sounds like that. So that's basically what that is. All I have is a compressor and a little reverb on it. That's it. You know, so it gives me that.
Yeah.
Still can't make the chord.
I
feel
like you need a redo.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. I'm not kidding you guys, man. When you play anything that's normally on a 6 and you go to a 7, everything feels weird.
I'm just glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, I am too, to be honest with you. I'd rather it be me than you. Yeah. In fact, I did it on purpose to make you sound better.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm like,
do you
wow.
remember, though, when we did perform this, like if I just start singing this song a cappella, I sing it lower. I lower the key, and it sounds perfectly fine to me. And then when we used to perform this, at least, oh my gosh, I would start it off in the wrong key.
You'd be like, ear.
Yeah. I'd look at him like, what are you doing? You're doing it wrong. And he's like, it's you.
And tonight it was me. I was trying to show you how it felt all those times.
Right.
It feels crappy, doesn't it? When you look over at your partner and you're like, boy, you're really screwing the pooch over there.
No, it was fun. It was fun times. And it seems like most people liked it. And even though it was soft, My vocals were down. I don't know, but then Ben says it sounded fine listening through monitors, and it sounded fine. Mixes via YouTube are always tough.
Yeah, well, the thing is, what I've learned about YouTube is everything is like, I'll have like I'll have a song where I start out with just guitar, and you can hear it click behind me. As soon as the drums come in, it squishes everything down, and it's like you lose like several dBs of volume. But with us, there's two people, and here's the other thing. If you listen to this on monitors or on like even your car stereo or a Bluetooth, it sounds way better. Phone speakers, they never sound right. Because you got this stinky speaker that's got all this stuff coming out of it. So, yeah.
That's funny. JJ's House of Jams is here, by the way.
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, that's why I use these in-ears. And I always suggest, well, I haven't suggested it in a while, but on my Wednesday night shows, I always suggest I post a link in there for people to get these. Because they're like $50 some dollars. Yeah. Like $55 or whatever. And you could plug these into your phone and hear exactly what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And it sounds great. So that way, like, when I say, like, this sounds like this or this sounds like that, you'll be on the same page as me, you know? Yeah. So
maybe at the end of the show, if there's still people hanging out, we could do it again. You can turn
Yeah, I can turn you up a little bit, yeah.
You do like things guitar heavy, so.
Oh, do I?
We always fight about it.
Yeah. It's like well, yeah, but I mean, in my ears it sounds great. You know what? We'll watch afterwards on my stereo system upstairs. So how much you want to bet? I will bet you a thing of Knob Creek that I'm right, that it sounds fine. You don't want to take that bet? Think you promise?
It's got to be better than that.
Oh, gosh. Whatever. I'll bet you a bag of really nice picks that I'll use.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Barry Prosser just chimed in.
What's going on, man? Good to see you here. Thank you.
Cast 390, how are you? W. Wendling. He likes the acoustic sound. Yeah.
Myers is saying he can help me with my tone.
Yeah. Yeah. In true Myers fashion.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Haven't seen you in a while, and you're kind of making up for all that right now.
Solar Guitar Studio says that'd be nice. She's right. See, I'm right.
Ah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, Dan says those chems suck. Yeah, you're right, man.
What's a chem?
Chemicals that I use spray with and breathe all the time. Yeah, after a while it gets to you, man.
I thought you were referring to some gear.
Oh, no. No. So what should we do next? Want to do some... you
want to do the viewer comments?
Yeah, let's do viewer comments.
Sure.
And then I'm going to go over my story with the whole amp thing, and then I'm going to do some demonstrations with the Kemper.
Yeah, we'll start with the one that you picked. So let's see. This was on the PRS MT-15 Victory versus the Super Kraken. All right. Would you call the Kraken unforgiving? I find my angle a lot more forgiving anyway. That's the part of being rewarded when you play with precision with the Kraken. That's from Robert Olson.
Thank you for the question, thanks. Robert. Really appreciate it. I think the Kraken I think it has the perfect balance between unforgiving and pointing out your mistakes. It's not super forgiving, but it's also not like, you have to be super articulate. And what I mean by that is some amps are what?
Stainless Steel says, maybe leave that guitarist and give me the job. Where do you live?
Yeah, where do you
live?
You have no idea what I got to put up with here. I'll pay you.
No, I have a side project. I need a jazz style guitarist.
She does.
Or keyboardist. I really, really do.
Because I don't do jazz stuff at all. As you heard, I'm not acoustic at all. I'm not an acoustic guy.
He's a metal guy.
Yeah.
But no, seriously.
There's no D minors in metal. It just isn't. So to his question, is it unforgiving or is it very forgiving? I think it's the perfect balance of both. It's in the middle where I like my amps and the reason why I say perfect example of what happened earlier. It's not going to take a bad D minor chord and make it into a good one, but it's going to give you that feel that you like so that you feel very supported when you're shredding and playing riffs. And you don't have to hit every single note with the same velocity that you hit the last one, and it's going to give you kind of like an even kind of volume on all your notes for the most part. You know, yeah, obviously you can still get dynamic with it, but I don't like amps that almost feel like you're playing on a cleaned sound when you're playing, you know, on the distorted channel. It's just too unforgiving for me. I'm not good enough for that, so I need something that kind of supports me a little bit. So the Kraken is like a beautiful sounding amp, and it feels amazing, especially when you slam it with an overdrive.
So your opinion is it is not too unforgiving.
Correct. It's like it's perfect. If you ask me, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fell in love with it at first sight.
Oh yeah.
First sight.
Yeah. I remember I was looking at it. It's like, look at I was like,
we're having like complete conversations out right next to him, like 5 inches away, and he was in a completely different world.
Completely different world.
Just looking at that thing.
Yeah, and then it sounds just as good as it looks. So, yeah, it's a great amp.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
The next comment comes from MK on your episode with the JJ100. He said, "Hey Jarrod, too bad with the JJ100, but hey man, you're doing this stuff live, which is awesome, unlike many others. Fantastic job. Mixing sounds great. So nice to see all the amp comparisons and shootouts instead of, I screenshotted the read more.
What was the rest? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Probably instead of all the modelers and stuff like
yes,
that.
that's what it was. Instead of all the modelers. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's from MK?
Yep. MK.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys caught the episode on Wednesday. I had the JJ100, the Friedman JJ100, and the JJ Junior here, right on that table. And the JJ100 worked perfectly until I sound checked for the last time before I went live, half hour before it went
myself.
live.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. So it blew a tube in the preamp section. It blew a preamp tube, and I just couldn't use it for the episode. It sucked. But that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Troubles.
Yeah.
Amp troubles.
Yep. Amps do stuff sometimes. Tubes are what they are. So it's nothing against the brand or the amp. It happens, you know. So it was kind of a bummer.
Right.
Yeah. But we got through it. I still did a shootout between the Junior and the MT15 and the Synergy Friedman HBE module. So we still had a great night. So I got options.
He's an options guy.
I sure am. Yep.
All right, the next comment is just two more. Solar Guitar Studio says, been shopping the Synergy preamps and the Syn 2, discovered your channel and stumbled in on your stream. Amazing performance, probably the best live stream shred I've ever seen. How does the sag knob work on the Syn 2 and what does it do? Can you demonstrate it? Great show.
Thank you very much. I'm glad. I'm so glad that you were hanging out and I'm
stumbled across.
Yeah. Anytime anybody wants to stumble in here, they're welcome to. The sag knob basically on the Synergy system is it just gives you some give. You just turn it up for more sag, turn it down for less. So if you want a looser feel, you crank the sag knob up. If you want something a little tighter, you crank it down. So it's just giving you a different feel. If you want something to have more give or chewiness, you want to turn it up. So I'm finding that I kind of like a little bit of both. I used to like everything to be a little colder and stiffer. Now I'm kind of like things to be a little chewier. So,
he's here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Solar Guitar Studio. You blew a preamp tube. That's pretty metal, dude.
That's how good I am. I blow preamp tubes when I play.
And then
it's good to
Jay's
see you
here. Warm Chord Music.
Oh, awesome, Jay.
How is that Knob Creek? And it's cheers,
now
Jay, by the way.
Now you can drink it.
Great suggestion. Super yummy. Smoked maple whiskey from Knob Creek.
It's like $30 for like a, I don't know, pretty decent sized bottle of it. So if you want something a little different.
Not too sweet.
Yeah.
Still has a lot of burn.
Yep. I like it.
I like it better on the rocks.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is good because now you got more. When the ice cube melts, you get more whiskey.
I remember last time I was drinking whiskey, I was like, oh, your stupid ice cube.
Yeah.
Now I want the ice cube. Leslie, stainless steel, you're very courageous. Those fractal guys laying around are dangerous without their medical treatment, and their guru will never forget.
I'll tell you, man, when we did those fractal versus Kemper episodes, is that what he's talking about? I think so, right?
I think so, yeah.
And those guys, the Fractal fanboys, are something else. God, they just came after me in droves. You don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah.
Oh no, stainless steel's from Paris.
Oh. Well, you've always wanted to go to Paris.
It's not in the it's not written in the stars, man.
Yeah. She'll book a flight soon. You can take her shopping in Paris.
In Paris. Yeah. What kind of boots do they have over there?
I'm sure they got better ones than they got here. So take her boot shopping and she'll be happy. She'll be yours forever.
Okay, so we have one more. Yes, you have very good taste, by the way, Jay. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Last comment comes from Ozzy Guitar Man, and he says, any plans to reviewing more modelers like the new Moore GE stuff? Is that how you say it? Moore?
Yeah, more. Yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. I'm not done with modelers. I'm not done with any of that stuff. I know the Line 6 Pod Go's coming out. Motor City Guitar is going to get those. I'll probably end up reviewing that, having it on a live stream, and having some fun with that. And the Moore stuff, I definitely want to get my hands on one of those too. I have had a lot of people ask me about that because it profiles too, and I want to see how well it profiles. So, yeah, for sure. And the new Neural DSP, whenever the hell that comes out, I will do a live stream with it. I will. There's so much hype and buzz about that. So,
they're doing their job.
Yeah. I want to do anything. I want to review any product that comes out that's worth reviewing. And I feel like all the stuff that's coming out these days is good.
Yeah.
You know, it's just how good is it? It's all above bar. It's all above that bar where you're like, you know. So it's...
My phone's giving me... There we go. Oh, Scotty Reno showed up.
Scotty Reno, what's going on, man?
Better late than never, man.
Yeah.
When are we going to get a review of the Crate Blue Voodoo?
Oh,
From Jay?
I want to get my hands on one of those too. I haven't seen one yet. The second I see one, I will do one because it's kind of a mystical amp. A lot of people think Crate's got kind of a bad name. They're like, it's a Crate. They're just kind of, you know. But the Blue Voodoo is an amp I hear. I've never played through one, but I hear that they actually did a really good job on. Yeah. So if anybody out there
really like it,
I don't know if I'd buy one. I gotta stop.
Yeah, you think?
I gotta stop.
I got one pair of boots out of all of us.
We made that deal afterwards. So, yeah. So, the new EVH Stealth is coming out. All the new Synergy modules are coming out. There's a Fortin Sigil coming out. I mean, there's all kinds of new stuff coming out. So for me, it's like, if I'm going to spend money, I'd probably spend money on that kind of stuff, you know.
James Myers says the Crate Blue Voodoo was a beast back in the day. They're like $200.
Yeah. If I can find one, I'll do a night with it.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Motor City will have?
I looked. I didn't see one. I saw a Crate, but it wasn't a Blue Voodoo. It was something else. And I called my buddy TJ, and I was like, "Hey," and he's like, "No, you don't want to. You don't want to do that." Like, okay. Yeah. So, nope, not doing that.
Let's see. Rob Hansen says, the amp hoarder in me will have a hard time going back to the tube amps. Van Daven. Do you know this guy, Van Daven? Neural DSP is kick-ass. Played the ABSI, A-B-A-S-I,
Abasi.
Via laptop last rehearsal. Much better than my Helix and even better than my Kemper.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, the thing is with the Neural stuff, the online, like the plug-in version on your computer, on your DAW, that stuff, everybody raves about it, says it's amazing. So, but they're playing it through studio monitors, so it's like, you know, I definitely want to try one. I'm very curious, you know, because there's so much hype, and when there's a lot of hype with things, a lot of times I get a little negative towards it, because it's like, oh, come on, it can't be that good. So I'm trying to remain neutral with it. Like, there was so much hype with the Kraken. And then when I played it, I was like, that thing is amazing, you know? I mean, the Kraken is like, it's everything that everybody hyped it up to be. So, I really liked that. What was the other thing that got a ton of hype that I played and I thought it was really good?
Any of your Synergy stuff?
No, it was something else. It might have been the Stage. I don't remember. But, yeah, at least with the Kraken, I mean, I was very pleased with it, you know.
Jay said you should get me a pair of alligator skin boots.
All right.
That's word for word what he said. Get Kari alligator skin boots.
Well, if he wants to kick in on them.
I'm lying. That's not what he said. He said, I think a pair of alligator skin boots are in order.
Well, the Rev. Yeah, the Rev. That was an amp that was really hyped up that I played through. It was amazing.
Yes.
Jay's Rev.
And
Jay's,
it was amazing.
Yeah, Jay's Rev will be on the show. So we'll be having that on very soon.
When?
We penciled in February 8th.
February? Well, it's February 16th.
Or I'm sorry, March 8th. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going to go back in time and review that.
Right.
Everybody hop in my DeLorean.
Well.
Yeah, so...
You want to do your...
My little spiel?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
We got 39 people, so
awesome.
Make it a good spiel.
Yeah, I'll make it a good spiel. Okay, so I go online, just like you guys do. I see people, I sold all my amps, and this and that, and then I watch the whole video and I hear their journey, and I'm just like, okay, and then at the end of the video, some of these guys will actually play, and I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, ooh, you're painting trees while living on Mars. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want to paint trees, you have to kind of be familiar enough with what they look like, so that you can actually paint one properly, because your trees don't look like trees, so I did something very similar to that. I had a bad experience at a show. This is before you were in the band. We did a show, and I had to go on stage. I had a Mesa dual rec Roadster. I had a 4x12 cab along with it, and then I had 2 elaborate pedal boards because I'm in a prog band and I got all this stuff. And somewhere I lost volume. I don't know which cable it was that night, but one of my cables went bad and I lost my volume, and I had to do the show without effects that night because it was 20 minutes before we went live, and we couldn't figure out which cable was bad. So I just went into my overdrive pedal straight into my amp and did the show with no effects. And in that show I'm doing like the whale calls, the volume pedal swells and all that. No delay. Nothing. And it was very dry, and it was that's all it was. It was
beautiful.
Yeah. It was horrible, and I was so mad. I was so freaking mad after that show. I was like, I never want to go through this again. So the next day I went to the store, went to Motor City Guitar, and I saw the Pod HD 500 by Line 6, and I made an emotional decision. I was just like, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to check it out, and if it works, I'm going to start using this, and I just don't want to deal with this ever again, because I was so mad, because my rig let me down. So I bought it, and I got it home, and it took me, I don't know, it was a couple weeks to finally get it to where it was palatable for me, but it was still, I had parked my amp, so I was just determined, I'm using this. And then finally I used it for a band practice one day, and I just switched to it, and I was like, well, tonight's the night I'm going to switch to this thing and not use my amp. And I remember my bandmates were like, where's your amp? And I'm like, it's over in the corner, I'm going to use this tonight. And I dialed it in, and it worked. It made sound, and
it made sound.
Yeah, it made sound and did stuff. It did stuff, but
it made sound and did stuff.
But the thing was I was so mad at my rig. Still, I held a grudge against it that I didn't care, and I got kind of like that. And I hadn't played my amp for weeks, so every week that I didn't play my amp, but I played my pod, I got further away from reality.
Your ears readjusted.
Yeah, my ears readjusted. So now I'm trying to make the pod sound better than it did yesterday, as opposed to better than my amp, or at least as good as my amp. You see where that first mistake got me? I wasn't comparing the pod to an amp anymore, or you could insert any digital platform in there. This is just my specific thing that I used. So I was comparing it to itself and trying to make it better than it was before. So I'm trying different EQs and different this and that, and I spent a lot of time tweaking it as opposed to playing it. And I was playing at a church as well. We were doing like the recovery type stuff, like they had the AA meetings and stuff, and they needed a guitar player to play in their little, they played some songs before each meeting, and they needed a guitar player. And I remember, I was bringing my amp and stuff before that, but then I brought the pod one night, and the sound guy's like, "You're gonna get so spoiled just bringing that in the door." So I got hooked on that too. I got hooked on the whole, like, now I don't have to carry my amp and my cab and my pedal boards and make 5 trips back to my car each time. And I just walk in with my guitar in one hand, my pod in the other, set it on the ground, and go, and it was so much easier. So then several months go by. I got my, comments? So several months go by. I got my amp. I finally decided to sell it on Craigslist. I got some decent offers. A guy came over to buy it, and I remember bringing it upstairs and hooking my old overdrive up to it and playing it, just testing it out. And I was just go, what am I doing? But it's too late. The guy's already coming over, and I'm just sitting there going, this thing sounds absolutely amazing. Like, oh, God, and it was like, I don't know, man. It was really weird. And I ended up selling it, and I just accepted the whole pod thing. And
I don't remember you having the pod. Was that before me?
It was before and during, actually.
I remember the Helix. I pointed at the Kemper.
I switched to the Helix.
I remember the big one.
Mm-hmm. But I had that when you were in the band too, when you started.
So funny. I don't even know. When I first started, it didn't matter. You played guitar, I sang.
Yeah,
I didn't care.
Yeah, you were like, whatever, sounds like a guitar.
Let me sing.
Yeah, let me sing. Shut up. Yeah, so basically, so that's basically what I did. But every day I played it, I got further and further away from tone, good tone. And then I had some friends over. Myers is one of them. And we had a day where we shot out some stuff. Before I did that, I switched to the Helix when the Helix came out. And the Helix was very much better than the pod.
Yeah.
So here I am going, well, it's better than the pod. So this is great. So I got the Helix, got it dialed in. Had a bunch of friends over, and we compared it to amps and stuff like that. And it just did not compare. And especially when I did the recordings of each product, and then we shot them out together, and I was just like, I could just tell that the Helix definitely did not have that big ampy sound that I, because when you compare them side by side, there's a difference. And I'm not knocking on the Helix. I use my Helix every day, but I use it in 4-cable method with my amps. Yeah. So anyways, long story short, I started, because of this show, because of my Wednesday night show, I started really playing, like I would bring a new amp down each week, and I would play that one, take it back to the store.
Doing those like
several
a month
weeks
ago.
Yeah. So I started bringing those down, and then I started getting, people were reaching out to me, hey, try this amp, play that amp, go to the store. Sometimes I'd bring a pile of amps home, and shoot them out. And Jim Sieben let me use his Mark, and then Mike Hasty let me use a couple of his amps. In fact, I got one of his upstairs, the 5152, that's been modded.
Yeah, now you're swapping recipes.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. But thank you, Mike Hasty, for swapping those jalapeno popper wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Those are good. Those are really freaking good. Anyway, so...
Back to the story. So anyways, I start using all these amps, and I start really falling in love with these amps again. And I'm just like, God, these are great. Let me just say this, too. A good overdrive pedal covers a multitude of sins. Like, if you have an amp that's just kind of like, it's not really working for me, put an overdrive pedal in front of it. And I'm telling you, it'll wake that thing up and make it sound amazing. So, I mean, this is my advice. I'm back to having like real amp tone again, and I love it, and I can't believe I missed out on all that great stuff for as long as I did. It was several years, and we were busy writing music, not chasing tone.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what though, like now I get an amp down here, and the thing that I can say with as many amps as I've had down here, and some nights I've had several. Some nights I have 1 or 2 or whatever, but it's so easy. You get it, you fire it up, you turn a few knobs, couple chugs, couple chords, and you're like, done. I didn't have to go online. I didn't have to watch a bunch of YouTube videos. I didn't have to download anything. I didn't have to read a manual. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. I didn't have to do any research except for one amp, which is the JP Mark II. The only reason why is that's a pretty complicated amp, but that was easy to figure out because I just watched John Petrucci's dial-in video on it. and I just mimicked what he did, and it's perfect. So, like, so here's the thing. Yes, I have a Kemper. It's right here. I used it tonight. I'm going to use it some more. If you're going to have a digital platform to use on simplified kind of rig nights that you need to do, fly dates, local things that, if you're like me,
You don't want to break your back.
Yeah, well, there's 20 people coming to this gig, so why am I busting my ass bringing all my gear when I can just bring my Kemper and just go in and do it and leave, and I don't have to worry about working so hard for a small audience? Sorry, that's the way I think, So anyways, have that and use that, but compare it to your real amp, but don't get rid of your real amp or amps. Like, keep your favorite ones at least, but always have a real amp with you, at least one that you just love, and you can compare your digital tones to, because I'm telling you, that's the tree that will keep you grounded to know how to paint trees. Otherwise, you're going to be painting Martian trees, and they're just not going to look right, So keep your amps.
So Kevin says, hey, first time catching you guys live. I'm not sure which Kevin it is.
Cool.
Just Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
He says, that's why I love real amps. I had an XFX 2 and it was great, but too much trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron Short Music says he feels more connected when playing a real amp.
Yep.
Also prefers the amp in the room experience.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah.
It's way different, because the thing is something that never made sense to me. Well, I understood what people said, but when I compared them A-B in the room, that's when it really hit home with me, is the whole, a Kemper or a Helix or a XFX, it's a mic'd amp. It's not really an amp. It's what you would hear through studio monitors. So when you're playing a real amp through a real cab in a room, you're capturing the whole cab. You're not only just capturing that little part of the speaker that the mic is on a profiler or a modeler. You're capturing the cab too, and the whole speaker, or both speakers, or all four speakers. All the resonance, all of the size of sound, all of that stuff is coming out, as opposed to just getting a window into that amp's tone is what you would get even in the Kemper or anything else. Now, there are exceptions to that, and I'm going to show you those very soon. But I think, again, the best advice I can give anybody that's like, I'm selling all my amps, I would just, if someone came up to me and said that, I would like, what is your favorite amp?
Yeah.
This one. Okay, at least keep that one. Mm-hmm. Because if you sell all your amps and you tweak your own...
It's your home base.
Yeah, it's your home base. If you tweak your own digital platform, I'll just say that, digital platform, and try to make it better than itself all the time, all you're going to do is get further and further and further away from real tone, and you're going to spend all your time tweaking as opposed to playing. And that's the other thing that I like about amps. I play my amps when I'm plugged into them 100% of the time. When I'm plugged into a digital platform, when I used to be plugged into them all the time, I would play them about 40 to 50% of the time. The rest of the time, it was turning knobs, YouTube, this, that. Oh, this new IRs are out. Oh, let me download those and put those in. Oh, this guy's got a preset.
That exploded. We can't use it at a show. Freak out. Everybody's freaking out.
Yeah, updates and
no
this.
No update the day of the show.
Yeah, I remember that day.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So you don't have to worry about that. You just play your freaking amp, and enjoy it. So that's kind of where I'm at. Now, I will say this, like when I do use my Kemper, I'm not doing anything but playing it. All I'm doing is I just play it. I already know, because I have an amp here. I already have great things to bounce it off of. Okay.
Mike, is that near you?
I'm getting a phone call.
Why is James Myers calling you?
I don't know. Dude, why are you calling me? So
that's funny.
So anyways, I lost my train of thought. So here I am, like, playing my Kemper because I have an amp or a couple of amps to bounce it off of. I'm not tweaking it. I got profiles that I have. I got like 10 profiles that I trust.
Yeah.
And that's all I play. And when I select them, I'm not turning knobs. I'm playing. That's what you do. So that's...
Still calling. That's
calling.
A lot of butt dials. Aaron Lucas says, did you use an amp or a Kemper when you recorded the tracks you have for the show?
The backing tracks.
Yeah.
The backing tracks, I used a Kemper. Yes. I use the Kemper when it's in in like Paul's studio. When I go in there, it's easier because basically what I'm doing is I'm playing. What I do is I go in the studio, I play my riffs to a click. Paul and I will design the drums around what I'm playing, and then put bass to it. And then after that, if there's any backing tracks that need to be there for like underneath my solos, what you're hearing there is a Kemper. And here's why. He's already got the Kemper in there. It's a backing track, and it's not that big a deal because I'm just playing over top of it with real amps, and it's just background stuff. So that's basically.
Just turn it off.
I can't answer the phone right now. So that's what I'm using for that. Now I know that some people might, well, it's kind of hypocritical or this or that. Well, here's the thing. Again, I still have it. It's right here. You can barely see it, but there's the foot switches right there. I use it for a special, like for a tool. Like if I need to go to the studio, if I'm going to do a gig where it's like I said, if we got a gig booked like next week and there's like it's a smaller club, smaller stage, I'll use the Kemper for that because I need to save space. Yeah. It's a great tool in the toolbox, but it's not the end all be all for me. I love my amps very much, and I find that there's a better reactive feel. There's a better back and forth. Dude, I don't know what to do here. I'm turning everything down.
Just mute your phone.
I am. It's.
Do the drop down. Mute. Otherwise, I'm going to throw it upstairs.
I can't take phone calls while I'm on the air, dude.
Losing your line of thought. Yeah.
Oh, he's messaging me. James, I'll talk to you after the show, dude. I appreciate you calling, but I can't talk right now. I'm on the air. I haven't seen him in a while, so it's good to see him in the stream. Well, I look forward to talking to you soon, buddy. But anyways, so like I would use the Kemper in certain instances, like I said, like a smaller show where they have smaller stage size and stuff like that. When I go to Paul's studio, I don't have to lug all my amps there to record backing tracks and do a little riffing and writing so I can come up with the songs that I'm going to play for you guys here in the live stream. But my dream is to go, if I ever play again, who knows when that will be on stage or whatever, I'm bringing an amp, because it definitely is something I want to do. I'm excited about it. Now, when I'm upstairs practicing and writing songs and doing all that, I'm interacting with the amp and the cab and all that, and it's very much fun to do that. And all the amps have their own little quirks and differences, and I say quirks as a positive thing. They all have their own little thing that they do, and they bring different things out of you, and it's fun to be able to get to know these things and play them and become a better and even a different player because of amplifiers. And I'm just telling you, again, like, don't sell all your amps. Don't do what I did. Don't sell all your amps and get so far off the path of great tone that you got to come full circle to come back. And I've seen people say this in the past, like, oh, I come full circle, I'm back to amps again. And I'm just like, man, I don't get that. You know what? I get that now. I really do freaking get that. Again, I'll always have a Kemper, but I'll always have amps as well. And, I just think that's, you at least keep one or two of your favorite amps to bounce things off of so you can keep your digital tone close to reality when you do use it. I guess that's my soapbox with that, right?
It is the soapbox. There's so many comments that I don't even know where to start.
Oh, well.
You were long-winded with that one.
Well, no, it's a lot to say. We got 44 people in here.
Right. Let's see. Berserkerland Studios. I quit with all of the dialing in years ago with the Digitech 2101 Artist. That device had way too many parameters to tweak.
Yeah.
And then Renaissance Man. I like both for different purposes. Love the tube sound pushing air cabs, but for his goal, he likes the HX Stomp for recording and practice, and it fits my gig bag, right?
Yeah.
To play live.
Yeah. I totally get that. Like I said, there's going to be times, I used the Kemper tonight when we did our thing. I mean, I will use it.
There's a place, for sure.
Yeah, there's a place. I mean, you got to look at it as tools in a toolbox. Like, which one do I need to do this? You know, which one do I need to do that? And you grab the one that just fits that job the best, and you go do it. But don't sell all your wrenches and to keep a crescent wrench.
Yeah.
And go, that's all I need. It's like, dude, you're going to run into problems with that. You really are. You're going to find a tight spot where that wrench only turns like a millimeter each time. You're going to be out there an hour busting your knuckles on stuff when you could have had a socket. That's what I'm saying. Like, keep all your tools in there and if you use the right one for the job, you're going to be happy.
Looks like Andrew Stonerock needs a new tool.
Ah.
He says his vocalist bailed again.
Oh, man.
This is his 5th time bailing on recording sessions. You think it's time to cut him loose?
Yep.
What kind of vocalist do you need?
Yeah.
Just saying.
She likes to sing. No, it's true. Like, some people could just be a big pain, and at my age, man, I got no patience for that anymore. Like, you get one time, after that, bye-bye.
Right.
I introduce you to the tip of my boot.
Darth Vapor says,
hey.
He says he wouldn't cut him off if he's got a killer voice. I don't know. We've been through that.
Yeah.
Killer voice or hard work and no drama.
Yeah, I'll take the hard work and no drama. Hard work, no drama, and a killer voice.
Well,
you're the trifecta. Yeah, I almost threw you under the bus. She's got a horrible voice, but no drama. She works hard. That almost went south, didn't it?
It's all right. I was waiting. I knew you had it. Ben Burnett, thank you so much for the super chat.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Let's see, Vox Pathfinder, is there any need for full bore 100 watt tube amps anymore?
It depends. If you're going to be on, the thing is, that's a great question. If you're going to be on a big stage and you just want to feel that, because that's the thing, as a performer, you want to feel your amp just, banging you into the chest, like just, the chugs, all that stuff. So if you have that, then yes. But 50s and even the lunchbox amps are great. Like, we use in-ears. So, like, if I'm on stage, I don't need, because the house,
Jarrod can have his guitars turned all the way up
and
not
my
even
head.
Listen to the vocals.
Exactly. But I listen to you because you're amazing. And a hard worker. No, but if you got like a lunchbox amp and you backline it or put it behind you or whatever, and it's good enough in your ears, the house, you have to admit that, right? When we go on stage, the house, the rumble, kind of gives you all that stuff anyway. So it just depends,
Let's see. Jay, he says his rev is going nowhere ever, except to Jared's house.
Yeah, except to here, buddy. We just talked about that today.
Yeah.
You
well,
said.
we didn't, but you did.
Yeah, you said. So we'll come to your house and go live if we have to.
Yeah, let's go to his house. We need an outing. We need Tone Wars on the road.
But I can't bring all this to his house. We already did that once. Okay, I'll make an exception. If you have a brewery in your house, we'll go there. We'll have that
or
for a
near
backdrop.
your house.
Yeah, exactly. We can do that. So, yeah. Anyways, I mean, again, don't sell all your amps. Keep a few. Compare them to your digital platform. So, like, when I go out and play live, I'll bring my Kemper at times. I'll bring an amp at times, but I know that when I do bring my Kemper out, it sounds good. It sounds great. I'm not going to be up there all embarrassed going, oh, is this right or whatever. I know it's going to sound good. And let me say this too.
Say it.
Amps, again, like I said before, I can take any amplifier from a store, plop it on that table, and within 5 minutes, I have the best tone that I could probably, for me anyways, that I could get out of that amp. And if you watch my live streams on Wednesday nights, they sound great. I mean, I'm not patting myself on the back, but
I'll do it for you.
There you go. Thank you. So, so when I dial these amps in, I'm not down here for hours slaving away and like downloading things and getting different impulse responses or presets and manuals, and I'm not doing any of that stuff. I just turn some knobs and go.
Damien says Tone Wars should go on the road. We can demo some of his amps.
Hey, that's
where are you at, Damien?
Where you at? Good to hear from you, by the way. Thank you so much for being here.
Let's see, Renaissance Man. The new Rev G22 amp is great as it has best of both worlds. Real tube, plus options like 2 notes, torpedo, and cab emulations, and a load box in one unit. That's the future of amps.
Yep, hybrid amps are absolutely, I agree with you 110%. Hybrid amps are the way to go because they have the best of both worlds. Like you said, you can go
We're almost
direct.
to 50 viewers. We're at 46.
Awesome.
Like and share.
Like
Share.
Yeah.
Text the link to people. Tell them to tune in. Does something happen at 50 viewers? Do we get like a Tubi?
A Tubi. I don't know.
What happens at 50 viewers?
I don't know. Something will happen. I don't know. We'll find out.
That'd be great. We get more. Let's see. I'm tired of tweaking. Been doing it for so long. I just want to play. Aaron Short. I hear that with all of my heart.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's so nice to plug into an amp and just get like real sound. Because the thing is we're trying to make these digital platforms sound like an amp, but we don't have an amp in our presence. So how are you supposed to do that? So keep both. I can't stress it enough. Don't sell them all. And I'm saying all this tonight. I'm being very transparent with you guys. Learn from my mistake. That was my mistake that I made. And if you see me play somewhere, it's, again, depending on the situation, I'll always prefer to bring my amp with me. But if I have to, I'll be grateful that I have this other tool called the Kemper in my toolbox. Because in my opinion, the Kemper's the closest thing that you'll come to an amp. It really is. So
speaking of really quick, or maybe not quick, taking Tone Wars on the road, we had talked about we now have viewers from all over the world, really.
Yeah. Yep.
But I was thinking we'll start with the United States first. We'll start with the States.
Yeah.
We would love to come to your area. Like, we might not be able to do this next week, but if there are favorite music stores that you have in your area that have great gear, it's like the hub for local musicians. We would love to come and do a clinic, if they have a space, and we would promote their store and things like that, but we would love to come. So feel free to message Tone Wars on our Facebook page or send Jarrod an email if you're so privileged to have that information.
Well, you could put it in there if you want.
Right, I can put his his email in there. But that's something that we wanted to do in the future once we grow and get to that point. We've done a clinic or two here at Motor City. Yep. And
we did one at the brewery. That was fun.
At the brewery. Yeah.
So like the clinics that we would do though would be a lot different. They won't be just like let's go up and play through a bunch of stuff and then talk to people afterwards. It's going to be an interactive clinic. Yeah. First of all, I'll go live so everybody that views the channel will be able to be part of the clinic. Secondly, whoever comes to the clinic, I want them to bring their guitars so they can come up on stage and, like, when I'm saying, well, this is great and this is what I like about it, who wants to come up and try this?
Yeah.
Because you'll be playing stuff that's dialed in, tried and true, in a system that's dialed in, for, to sound amazing, so it's not like you're going to grab a guitar off the wall with rusty strings on it and, plug into something and sit there and try to figure it out. I mean, I'll have all the stuff dialed in, and I'll bring everything. I'll bring all my amps. I'll bring my Kemper. I'll bring all my, cabs and everything, and you can try all this stuff, and we could talk about what works best for you and how we could tweak things for you or whatever.
Yeah.
Overdrive pedals. We can talk about everything.
51.
51
viewers.
So you think it's going to happen?
Right. Where's the Tubi? Does it come through the phone?
She's got this thing about we get a Tubi award. I don't even know what that is.
It just sounds good. I came up with that on the night of the Oscars, right?
Yeah. So we get Tubis as YouTubers, and other people get Oscars. So
is this the first time we've had over 50?
No, we've had when we do the fight nights. We've had 70 plus on those nights.
But on a Sunday night, just you and me.
Yeah, Sunday night's first time,
See, it's me singing.
Is. It's her singing. So we'll have her sing some more if that's how it works. She hasn't sang in a while, so it's been nice to hear you sing and enjoy that again, and I enjoyed it as well. So we'll be grabbing some of our older songs and dusting them off and turning them into acoustic songs, and maybe every Sunday night you can at least do one or two. Yeah. It'll give you something to kind of look forward to as well. And you guys too. So she's got a great voice, and
Thank
she's
you.
awesome to work with. So I mean, I'm happy to do it. You know, I'll take a back seat. You know, let you sing. It's fine with me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to ask some of the songs that we would have a bigger repertoire if we could do covers. If any of you have your own YouTube channels, have you found a way to get around the whole, what is it?
The copyright strike.
Yeah, the copyright strike. 'Cause
I played a guitar riff that was like a D to an A, which is Bryan Adams' Summer '69.
Yeah.
And I didn't even play it like they did, and I didn't get a copyright strike, but I got demonetized on that video because of it. I'm like, really? I go from a D to an A, and in the same time that they did, but I played it differently, and I'm like.
But I go to other channels like a belly dancing or dancers or cheerleading, and like they have the music, they have it's not a cover song, but they've got the song playing in the background, and I just don't know how you get around that. All of the research that you've done,
it's driving us nuts, man.
Yeah,
I'm afraid to play anything now unless it's a original, because if I do, I'm going to get some kind of message from YouTube going, well, so-and-so's taking all your money for that video, and it's like, geez.
Well, we need to pay attention here. We got some super chats.
Oh.
Thank you, Aaron Short Music. We
Thanks,
hit 50,
Aaron.
so he's on a super chat.
Appreciate it.
Kevin.
Hey.
Kevin, I wish I knew which Kevin you were. Thank you. Thank you so
Kevin.
much. He says, here's your Tubi. Thank you. That Tubi's going to buy me a Starbucks in the morning.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Seriously, that really means a lot to us, guys. It really does. So like the next thing that I got to do here, I keep trying to turn my ringer down. I don't know why.
You are really sucky at operating that.
Apparently. My ringer's all the way down. I don't
Let's
know
see.
why.
I'm going to read some of these while you're looking at that. Damien, since our female vocalist is doing the movie thing, you both should redo some of our songs. Hey. Yeah.
Who said that?
Damien.
Oh, dude, we're good with whatever, man. Seriously. I mean, we're down with whatever. We'd love to. I mean, she likes to sing. I like to rearrange things. It's fun.
Renaissance Man says he doesn't have a problem on his channel. He says all he does is change the riffs to his own version. Okay. So maybe if you're making them your own, like I wanted to do with the whole. Yeah,
we do a cover like when we were live. We like in venues we did "Here Comes the Rain Again" or whatever that song was.
Yep.
And she kills that song, but it's like. I'm afraid to do it here because we're gonna get nailed, and it's like, and seriously, and then you can't talk to YouTube. You're talking to a bot. You're talking to a bot the whole time when you're like, and it's like, "Hi, I'm Julie." I'm like, "No, you're not. You're R2D2. Don't freaking pull that crap with me."
Aaron Short Music says Jarrod should just get an analog phone, less tweaking the tones in the live stream. He also said, just make a cover and upload it. You just won't get money from that one video, but it could lead to more subs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. We can mess with it. It's just when we do it live, that's when it gets us.
Gravel Rocks. Need to figure out how to invite people live. Ben Combs is on with 4 people at the same time. Oh, do you mean like videos? Other videos?
Yeah, well, other live streams.
Yeah, other live streams.
Yeah. Thank you, Gravel Steve. Good to hear from you, buddy. So, I think I covered that whole thing with the amps versus digital and all that kind of... Okay. All right, so if there's anything else that I've missed, and if I've missed your comments, please repeat your comments, because I'll miss things, and I always feel bad afterwards that I missed somebody's comment, and I'm like, oh man, that was a great point, and I don't want anybody to ever feel ignored, so... Yeah,
he was on a tear there, and I just kept struggling, like, I don't know, I'll get back to that.
If we missed your comment, it's not because we didn't think it was important, it's literally because we just missed it. They're scrolling by us really quick. So feel free to be repetitive. Seriously, it doesn't bother us.
Totally fine, unless it's rude.
Yeah. Yeah, be very repetitive. I just want to read
this one really, really quick.
Sure.
Berserkerland Studios says,
hey.
Kari, your vibrato and inflection and tone are insanely good.
Oh, of course you would want to read that.
Thank you very much.
Checks in the mail.
Oh, you could just give it to me. You don't have to.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
No, seriously, she's a treat to work with. She really is. Yeah, especially after we got
closer.
The inners.
Stainless steel. Why you need the camera closer? I know he's handsome, but
yeah, the closer the camera gets, the older I look. So yeah, I kind of like this. I'm good from far, but far from good.
What
Yeah.
else? Camera closer. Wow, he really wants to see you. Give him a close-up, man.
Close
Get
up.
right up
That's
there.
as close as I can get right now without getting out of my chair. He's probably wanting to see you. I don't think he wants to look at me.
Let's see what happened with the amp that malfunctioned.
Oh, that was the Friedman JJ100, and it had a bad preamp tube in it. I lost my mind because it sounded perfect upstairs. It sounded perfect down here when I sound checked it with the backing tracks and everything. And I was like, great, this is awesome. I shut everything down, got some dinner, came back down here, fired everything up, and I always go, like before I go live, I come down here 45 minutes early. I warm up, play all the backing tracks, play to them, warm up and everything for 45 minutes. And I switched to that amp because I got an AB switcher and I got no volume. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And next thing I know, I'm pulling cables out and I just got a spaghetti of cables down here. And I'm on the phone with Jamie Trevino and we're like trying to troubleshoot it. And it was like,
I felt bad. Felt bad for you. By the time I checked
awful.
In at 9-ish, 9:15 or so, you looked... You looked done.
Oh man,
you pulled back though. You came out of it.
Yeah, I came out of it. We still had a great show, but I came on like 40 minutes late because it was a nightmare. But I really appreciate everybody hanging in there with me because I thought I didn't have a show. I literally was like, how can I go live now? But I still had a great show with you guys, and I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out with me. So. So anyways, well, I think the next, we kind of, I think we're good with that, right?
You want to play?
So, the next topic I want to cover tonight is, I did this with a Helix, like what's better, Helix Direct or Helix, with a tube amp and real cab.
It's better with a tubie.
It's better with the tubie, yes. So, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to play some tracks.
Mama.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
Would love to record with you guys sometime, and we would love to record with you.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Playing the drums.
Yeah, it would be fun. Absolutely. So, what I'm going to do is I have the Kemper hooked up direct, and I also have it hooked to the Synergy Syn 5050 power amp, which is an all-tube power amp through two Mesa cabs, and we're going to compare how that sounds and feels tonight. Yes.
Aaron Lucas has a challenge for you.
What is it?
You ready to accept the challenge?
Maybe. Depends on what it is.
He says, I'll bring my Fender DeVille, not Devil, Fender DeVille, and you see if you could get a tone you'd use on it.
Hey, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. I'm definitely not a Fender DeVille player, but I'll see what I can do. Is that
the green with the white? The round, super round guitar?
No, he's talking about an amp.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought because you're the guitars. That's right. My bad. All right. And Bucket is my God. Thanks for the super chat.
Oh, dude. Thanks so much, Brent.
Thank you, Brent.
Very much appreciate that.
Oh, by the way, do you want to mention real quick about Facebook and stuff? Because I feel bad.
Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, friend requests, and I have an artist page. It's called I'm Kari. That's my handle on here when I'm commenting and stuff. So if you'd like to connect with me, I try to keep my personal Facebook page kind of private because I got kids and all of that kind of stuff on there. I don't like to. I just try to keep my professional and my family and friends separate. And please don't be offended if I don't accept friend requests and stuff like that. I've been learning so much about how friends of friends and acquaintances could have, if you have your kids on Facebook, and there's just a lot of sex trafficking and crazy stuff going out, and I'm just trying to keep...
She is a mama bear. Like, of all mama bears, she is like the big mama bear. So, that she's very protective of her kids and all that stuff. So that's why she likes to keep things kind of, separate. Like the personal Facebook page and the the
artist page.
The artist page. And it started, nothing bad happened, but I mean, she started thinking differently because when the show was getting more popular, she started getting more friend requests and stuff, and she was like, gosh, I don't want to blow people off. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and come off like snooty or whatever.
Right.
So
I'm so not snooty.
No, she's not. She's not snooty at all. But she was like, well, what do I... So we came up with the idea of the artist page.
The artist page,
and that way you could follow her there. if anybody that's watching that's met her, you can. She's not snooty.
I might be quiet.
Yeah, she might quiet sometimes, but
quiet.
she's not above anything. No, she's a very down to earth person.
But I would love it if you would like the artist page and we can communicate through that. And I seriously, a couple months ago, after reading some of the articles and going through some online training with I have a 11-year-old and a soon-to-be 10-year-old. So, gosh, just getting all up to date on that. I dumped half of my friends. I didn't know them at all. I just would pick up friends at shows and, people like the band and send me friend requests. And I thought, great, I'm doing some marketing for the band. And then it just got scary after doing some research. Yeah. So I unfriended. Not because I don't like people, but I just unfriended people that I don't know, that I don't interact with or don't interact with me. Yeah. And then I created the artist page, and that will be where I can communicate with you guys. So thank you for understanding, and please, please don't be offended by that.
Yeah, it's not a big deal at all. Just mama bear being a mama bear.
Right.
That's all it is. So she even unfriended me. So.
Right. Okay,
so,
you play.
Next topic. Next topic is, let me switch over to the Kemper. Some dirty tones here. So what I have here is the Kemper with a live ready sound, 5150 EL34 guitar sound. And this is what you're going to hear. This is direct. Okay, so this is direct into our board, which goes right out to you guys. There's no EQ, there's no compression, there's nothing. It's just all just raw. Going out to you guys. Okay, so I'm going to play a couple mixes with this. I'll play some notes of some chords and crap and some riffs by itself as well, so we can just kind of hear how it sounds. And then I'm going to switch to my power amp and real cabs, and I'll do the same thing. And we'll just talk about what we're experiencing here. Now, I will say, out of all of the digital platforms out there, the Kemper by far comes closest to a real amp. But again, it's still just a mic'd amp as opposed to the amp in the room feel through real cabs and a powered amp. So there is a difference, and we'll go over all that. Let me just kind of get some riffs going here, get my hands warmed up again. I was playing all those strummy little wimpy chords earlier. So let me just see what we got. Hang on 1 second.
You just all of the acoustic players.
It's all
good. Of them. Get them.
No, I ain't
Get them, guys.
Nobody. It's all good. Hang on. Helps when you turn the cabinet section of the Kemper on. 1 second. Okay, so there's 3 mixes, that I did with the Kemper Direct. Sounded great.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything in my ears that's driving me nuts. The thing is with YouTube, again, it compresses things. So if you hear a little bit of compression out there, YouTube just freaking does that. It's just the way it is, So,
Hi, Helix Cabana Boy.
hey, what's going up, Darren? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. I hope things are calming down out there with the fires and all that. It looks like
we haven't heard too much
haven't heard too much, so hopefully things are calming down. Jeez. Darren's a great friend of the show, great friend, period. I'm just glad he's okay.
Yeah, everybody liked you playing.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Seriously, that means a lot. I get nervous playing on the show, so
Yeah.
you know what's going through my mind the whole time I'm playing?
Don't
screw
suck.
up. Don't screw up. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's the only thing I ever think about.
I had showed you the one comment where Myers was saying that it sound scooped and stuff, but then someone, Renaissance Man, came right back in and said, I think that for metal and rock, you want a compressed, tight, high-gain sound, so Kemper is perfect for that and
It
recording.
is. Kemper's got a great, it really is. And the other thing I'll say tonight, too, like we're talking about digital and amps and all that, if you're going to go digital and use it a lot, get a Kemper. I've done the shootouts. I've done all the live streams about it. We've had multiple guitar players on here shooting the Kemper out against the XFX twice, and it won both times. And we shot it out against the Helix. And I'll tell you, this is what I'll say. Everybody at the end of each shootout, I would say 99% of the people preferred the Kemper.
Yep.
Whether the scores were close or not is irrelevant. Like Vin Diesel said, winning's winning. So, everybody really, for the most part, preferred the Kemper. So, excuse me, again, if you're going to choose a digital platform to go full-time with, that's the one to choose. Profile your own amps, do it really well, and at least you can take your real amps on the road with you. And again, stay grounded with your real amps.
Yeah.
So now here's the other thing. You can take your Kemper and go direct with it. I'm sure there's a place for that because a lot of times you want to travel light. You don't want to bring a cab with you. But if you're going... So here's the thing. Some people bring the Kemper or any other digital platform, and then they bring like an FRFR monitor with them and say, well, I need a monitor for on stage. I get that. More like a backline kind of thing. I get that. So, but if you're going to do that, may I make a suggestion to you that get a real tube power amp like you see here. It's 24 pounds. It's one rack space. Okay, and it's stereo if you want it to be. And then power a real cab with it. And what that will do is it'll give you that real amp in the room feel, number one. Number two, it takes out, what you do is you bypass the cab on the Kemper. You turn that off because you have a real cab. So there's a rabbit hole you don't have to go down anymore. You're not going, oh, which IRs should I get? Or which, mic cab in the Kemper should I get? Or, it just takes all those thousands of options off the table because I don't care how good impulse responses are, they're never going to replace a real cab. They're just not, So they're good, but I'll tell you, a real cab's always going to be better. So why not have the real thing? So if you take the Kemper with you and you want an impulse or a FRFR, for your monitor on stage, I would bring a cab and a power amp, and at least make it a tube power amp because it's gonna sound better. And I've actually had friends that have come over and played their Kemper through my tube power amp and my cab, and have gone home and played their powered Kemper with the same exact profile. Powered Kemper, which is a solid state power, through the same exact cab that I have here. They have a Mesa 212 as well. And they call me the next day and go, dude, I hate you and I love you because it doesn't sound as good. I have to order that power amp now with the tubes in it because it warms up the sound and makes it sound incredible. And it gives you that girth, that size, and that real kind of thing. So it really does do something because tubes they give and take, they pulsate with you. There's voltage changes and there's stuff. It's like the difference between playing tennis. You practice and you got a brick wall and you got the line that is the net and you just volley against the wall to kind of warm up. Well, that's kind of what digital modeling is. You get to volley, you're hitting it over the net and it's bouncing back at you and you're doing stuff. But playing with the other human on the other side of a real net is different. Now they're going to hit it in different places and make you run for it and make you work for it, and they're going to make you a better tennis player. You're going to realize you could do things that you never thought you could do before. Where the wall is very predictable, where an opponent, a real opponent, is not, and they're just going to make you better. And that's what tubes and real speakers do. They give you that kind of opponent type feel where it's like, yeah, I'm having a great volley here. I'm getting a good sweat. I'm playing through this, and it's real, and it sounds very good, and it's inspiring, So that's the difference. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mute the Kemper real quick because I got to hook up through, where is it? Where's my Kemper? Here it is. So I'm going to hook up through the real stuff, but still use the Kemper. Same profile, same Live Ready Sound profiles, which obviously sound really good. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and see how that sounds. And, all right, so live TV, folks. Let's see how this works. So I got to unmute. So I got both cabs unmuted. Turn the cab off. Turn the room mic off. Okay, so that is the Kemper ran through the Synergy Syn 5050 into two Mesa dual rec, or the dual whatever you call it, the Mesa 212 cabs, and they're both mic'd with Sennheiser E609s. So that's what we're hearing now. Hopefully this mix stays consistent with the backing tracks. Let me try that in a second. What, we got a comment there?
I was just laughing at Jay.
Oh.
Jay said, warms up the sound. Sounds like you needed to incorporate the warm chord.
Oh, the warm chord. Of course. Mm-hmm.
James Meyer says he can't stop watching. You're nailing the cast, bro.
Yeah, this is all right, so let me do a mix here. Hopefully this stays consistent. Here we go. Good. Made it. I made it. So, you know, both sounded
sounded so good.
so good.
Suffering.
Succotash. Both.
It's been a good night.
It's been a good night, man. I tell you, jeez.
There's a couple questions here.
Before you do that,
oh, yeah.
Both sounded really good, and both are 100% usable, and I would be confident in playing either way, live with either way, where it's direct or whatever, which is a testament to the Kemper and how great it is. But in the room, and I know I'm using earbuds right now, in-ears and stuff like that, but in the room, and even with these, the top end's better. It's got a fuller, fatter low end, but it's not tubby and loose. It's got a very proper low end, and it has the high end. All that digital fizz is gone, and it's just cleaned up. There's better note articulation. There's less hair. You get more clarity, and the feel is amazing because the power amp's giving me that feel, and the speakers are giving me that bounce that I like.
Yeah.
And in the room, if I got these off, because I've done this many times,
you're gonna have to give me that. I got 4% battery left.
Oh, okay.
That one or the.
Yeah. So yeah, in the room, I get a bigger, fuller sound than I would with a FRFR cab. So because when you're playing your Kemper or your insert digital platform here, when you're playing that at home through like a FRFR cab or whatever, you're going to get that digital fizz on top because the power amp in that FRFR cabinet is it's solid state. So you're getting Class D or Class G power, and the speakers are trying to emulate something as opposed to be what that is. I'm not getting fizz. I'm not getting anything out of my Mesa cabs because they are real. They're not trying to be something they're not. They are. So there's the difference right there. So, like I said, I think both are usable if you're going to use it live and and all that stuff. I mean, they're both good, but I can tell you right now, and it's not just me. I've had many other people that have come over here and played it both ways, that have all told me the same thing. The power amp with real tubes, and those are 6L6 tubes, and the real cab is unbeatable. It's just amazing. So what do you got?
Oh, sure. Now that there's 50 more.
Yeah.
Let's see. I gotta go find it again. Almost there. Killer playing. Did you... okay, here
Thank
it is.
you.
Renaissance Man. Did you take lessons, and how did you learn guitar to advance to high skill levels? And if I can... let me just say something before you answer that.
Okay.
Because I know the answer. You guys, he plays guitar for like 4 to 6 hours a day. And I am not joking.
Yeah, I play a lot.
Every day. And if he doesn't feel right.
That's right.
It's part of him.
I can't have my morning coffee without a guitar. Like when I'm upstairs, my couch is, I'm sitting on my couch. I got a table right here that's got a big old mug of coffee on it. And the coffee gets cold. Yeah. Because I'm constantly wireless. Yeah. So I'm always in the kitchen microwaving my coffee and playing guitar in the kitchen, leaning against my dishwasher counter.
He lives, eats, and breathes guitar.
Play it a lot.
It's part of him. He loves it. And I mean, it's literally what your parents tell you when you're younger. Practice, practice, practice. And I think I remember you took lessons for a couple times and decided you hated it.
Yeah. So, and thank you for the question and the compliment. I really appreciate that very much. It's a fingerprint unlock. So, all right. So basically, and again, I really appreciate the kind words, very, very much. So basically, what I do is I practice a lot, and I took one lesson and I couldn't stand it because the guy sent me home with a bunch of homework I had to do, and I'm just like, it was in my 30s, and I'm like, homework. And I just felt like a child, like, oh, I got to do my homework and come back, and here I know how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I know what all the notes are called, and I don't know theory. I don't know any of that stuff. I didn't want to learn theory because, and here's my theory on that. I'm sure for a lot of people theory works very well. I'm sure it's a great thing to learn. But for me, I think that I'm afraid that it would make me
Put you in a
always,
box.
yeah, it'd put me in a box. I'd be like, but you're not supposed to do that and this and that. Because I was in a band a long time ago with a guy that knew theory. So a lot of solos that I would write were pretty crazy. And he would be like, I'd be like, well, John, like, is this supposed to work? Is this okay? Because it sounds good to me. And he'd be like, well, theoretically, half of what you're playing is kind of like outside of what you're supposed to do. But he goes, but his ending was always, well, it's you. It's you, and it never sounded bad. So I love the Eddie Van Halen theory on guitar playing. If it sounds good, it is good. Yeah. And I just didn't want to have a bunch of rules put me in a box. And then I would always be like, yeah, but I'm not supposed to play that note, or I'm not supposed to bend that way. So I always try to keep myself out of that. So how I write my solos is in fact, getting back to the digital platforms, the Kemper is a great writing tool because you can loop like your guitar parts that you're going to write a solo over. I always loop them clean so I can hear the notes very well. And then I'll play the leads over top of the clean guitar track behind it. And even if it's supposed to be dirty later, I always write over clean guitars, again, because I can hear the articulation of all the notes. And I would literally like stumble in the dark and like I would just find my way through writing my solos, and I would hear things, and I'd bump into things that sounded amazing to me, and I'd be like, okay, that's a cool riff. Then I would gather a bunch of cool riffs together and say, these I have to have in the solo because I like them, and then I would find a way to musically string them all together. So that's how I do it.
Of course. So, okay, here we go.
Anyways.
All right, Dave Salvador. Haven't seen your name
in
the list.
What's going on, Dave?
You're a suffering succotash.
Suffering succotash.
Made him comment. He said, okay, that made me laugh. Both sounded fantastic.
Thanks, Dave.
Right.
Appreciate it very much.
Helix Cabana Boy says, I haven't done any special routing with the Kemper, only the Helix. If you took a power amp and real speaker to a gig, how do you send the Kemper with an IR to the front of house, or do you have to mic it?
I would just mic it. Honestly, it's just simpler because all the sound guys are used to that anyways. They would mic it, and if you use in-ears, just put a splitter on the other side of your mic and one run to your board that you use in-ears with and one to the front of house. That's all we do sometimes when we mic stuff, and it works perfectly every time. Just get a splitter, Oh
my gosh, we've got two super chats to thank. Bulldozer Guitar says, here's another coffee for each of you, and yes, it's because Kari sang. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And Warm Chord Music said, Kari's boots fond in Jarrod's music theory lessons.
Help me, I'm poor.
He was making fun of us earlier up here. Jay was. He said, those juicy licks just emptied out my bottle of Knob Creek. Looks like I need to come out and steal some of yours.
Hey, I got some left, man. So, but you're leaving town on Monday. It'll be gone by the time you get back.
He says, are you saying your low end has curves?
Yeah, I like curvy guitar tone. I like big, fat, curvy guitar tone. That's what I like, man. It's the best. It really is.
Dave Salvador said you sounded and played amazing.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
He's right.
Appreciate that very
watching.
much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Let's see. Cool. Thanks, Tone Wars. This is from Renaissance Man. I learned a lot of my own now and focus on learning hard new metal songs like Megadeth and Slayer and take lessons off and on. And I play 2 to 3 hours most days unless he's sick.
Oh, good for you, man. Seriously. I mean, let me say one more thing, too. YouTube is a great tool. You know what I do? Like, sometimes I'll be like, I want to learn a blues riff today, So I'll go on YouTube and just say blues riffs in E or blues riffs in whatever, because you can always change the key anyway. So I'll just say cool blues riffs. And you'll have a guy on there playing a Fender Strat, not like what I do, but I can always take them and make them my own. And he'll be playing some, like, so... stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, how do I put that into my music? So the thing that I love about John Petrucci so much is he'll play some very minor, shreddy kind of arpeggios and sweeps and all kinds of stuff, and then he'll break it up with a really cool bluesy section for like 10 seconds, and then he'll go back to shredding, and it's just amazing to kind of cleanse the palate, with stuff like that, and then go back to something crazy. It breaks up the monotony, because otherwise, if it's just a giant shred fest, which can be cool at times, but if it's all just a big giant shred fest, and you're not breaking it up with some really cool, like bluesy type things, or even jazzy stuff, it just kind of all sounds the same after a while. So I try to do that too. I try to break up my solos with different passages that break up the monotony. So go on YouTube, look up arpeggios, sweeping arpeggios, or blues riffs, or jazz riffs, great metal shred riffs, or whatever. And even you might not like all 5 that the guy shows you, but you might like one that's just amazing and that you could play easily. And then you could take it and make it your own too, and reshape it to your needs. So I do that all the time, and it's fun. It really is. So that's a good way to do it too.
Yep. Gunnerman54 says Dimebag didn't know Theory, and he's his favorite guitar hero.
Yeah, thanks for commenting, buddy. Good to hear from you. And you're right. Like most of the guitar players that even do instructional videos, they don't know theory. In fact, George Lynch is one of my heroes. I think he's one of the best guitar players out there because he's so unique. I got his instructional video. I think it's called Scary Riffs or something like that. And when you watch the outtakes on it, he's sitting here like me, and like right where the camera is, there's a guitar teacher that knows theory. So George is like, okay, we're going to play this in B, and the guitar teacher's like, no, it's actually it's C. And he's like, oh, we're going to play this in C. And then he'll like show the riff in C, and then he'll have conversations with the guy and go, what key is this in actually? Because and I'm not trying to make George sound dumb. Everybody knows that's a C chord, but what I'm saying is like a riff that he's playing up here somewhere, is that a C, C minor, C, blah, 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 you know, Mixolydian, there's Ionian modes, there's all these weird things, and we don't know this stuff. All he knows is, I'm playing this really cool riff, and it sounds amazing, but in order to be accurate, he'll have a guitar teacher across from him saying, well, that's actually in the Ionian mode, or that's in the, you know, Hungarian minor, or whatever, and then he's able to you know, translate that to the viewer. So you don't really have to know theory. All you have to have is a good ear. A good ear, a good pair of hands, and enough time and dedication to practice everything. That's really all you need, you know. So that's the best I can tell you.
Just want to say hi to Barry Gomez. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Renaissance man, thanks. Lots of good stuff online, and I'm a fan of Troy Statina, Dusty Cooley, and Joe Stump books on learning guitar for metal stuff.
Oh, Rusty Cooley's sick.
Lessons. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's so ridiculous.
Sasha, I'm going to slaughter your last name, Crucher. Theory is more about writing, communicating music, not so much about playing or being able to play / or write music.
Oh, you're right. It's just, it really is. It's all about, like, I speak guitar slang. You know, I don't want to really be all that proper. I just want to be speaking guitar slang. So I want all my stuff to be just raw, unfiltered, and, like, you know, I almost want people to go, like, man, I don't know why that works. It's not supposed to on paper. And I've had that said to me many times. And it always reaffirms why I won't take lessons and learn theory, because I think theory would help me write faster, you know, but I love looping something on my Kemper. I'll just, like I said, I'll play the backing track on that, and I'll loop it, and I'll drive myself nuts trying to write a solo to it. But here's what else I do. If there's a passage between two chords where I'm kind of coming up with like a segue, and I'm just like, oh, I can't get this, you know, what I'll do, or if I get stuck on one chord, I'll actually loop that chord, because Kemper has a freeze button where you can hold a chord, and then it's got a reverb with a freeze on it, and you hit that freeze, and it creates a pad, like a really nice keyboard kind of sounding pad in the background, and it will it'll just have that note for you, or those, you know, series of notes for you, and then you can play and noodle around for hours over that and find a passage that works for you. So that's what I do, and when I do that, I discover stuff I never would have played otherwise.
John Claudio is checking in from South Texas.
Hey, what's going on, man? Texas.
Mike Hasty says, good morning, kitties. Yeah. You just waking up?
What's going on, Mike? Hey, your amp is safe and sound in my living room, buddy. Yeah, we're going to have his KSR on here soon.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had some people ask me about the KSR, so...
Well, what are you thinking? It's 9 o'clock.
Oh, we've been on for 2 hours, haven't we? Holy cow, wow. Well, that went really quick. Did we cover everything? Did we
You told your story, you played your songs, I sang. We did viewer comments.
Did viewer comments? We did it all.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So we'll stay on for a couple more minutes. So while we're staying on, what we'll do is I want to tell everybody thank you so much for being here. First of all, it means the world to us. We love. I can't even tell you how much it means to us when we go live and we see the numbers and the names and the comments and everything. It makes us feel really good about all the work that we put into this. So
thanks for getting excited when the numbers got up and celebrating.
Yeah, thank you.
That was awesome.
Well, yeah, so sometimes we have, even us, we have up and down days. And like when we come down here and do this and we see your faces, well, not your faces, but your names and stuff like that, it really does bring us up.
Yeah.
It really does. Even if we've had a hard day, I mean, it really does make a difference. So thank you. And I hope that we do the same for you. And I also want to say, like, I'm in talks with Rev. I know the Rev G20 is coming. It'll be here soon. The new Synergy stuff, as soon as that hits Motor City Guitar, I will be reviewing that on the show on Wednesday night. I go live every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock when I just do gear demos. And I just play, talk, whatever. We do all kinds of stuff. We'll A/B, shoot out amps. We do all that stuff. KSR will be on here. The new Synergy amp modules. The new EVH Stealth, when that comes out, that will be on here. And whatever else I could do. I got some tutorials I'm working on right now that we can do live on Wednesday nights. And this lovely lady here will be singing for you, hopefully, depending on how things work out. But I would think
at least once on Sundays.
Yes, at least once on every Sunday night, so she can get her sing on and you guys can enjoy her lovely voice. So we'll do at least one song each time and get that going for you guys. And we're trying to make the show very enjoyable for everybody, you know.
Well, and eventually we want to be able to use equipment for vocalists as well. We'll shoot out some mics and see what the difference is. We can talk about in-ears. And so if any of you are in bands that have a vocalist, make sure on those nights that you give them the link and have them tune in too.
Yep, she'll be testing mics too. That's something we talked about the other day. I was like, well, hey, if you're going to be singing, why not use a different mic each time?
Yeah.
Or you can A/B them so they can hear,
A/B
you know, and really, because there is a big difference in all that.
I mean, honestly, I guess I've sang into that one, but not performing, just here.
For the studio.
But I always just use my butt mic.
Her stinky butt mic.
Yeah, the Shure SM58. It's you know,
it's a great butt mic.
And I joined a band. So.
Yep. So
I guess I did use the Line 6 wireless.
Yes.
I had that for a minute.
Yep, you used that for a while, and
then the sound guys hated that mic.
Yeah, they hated it. Every time they saw it, they were like,
oh, their heart sank.
Yeah, can you just use something else, please?
Yeah.
There's a lot of interference with those, I think, or something. Yeah, it was weird.
I go to hit a big note.
It was weird. I was like, what are you yodeling over there? Shakira?
Right.
So, we'll be doing that. We'll be doing all kinds of stuff, having fun with you guys. So let's read a couple more comments before we close out the night. Damien, after the show, can you, if I toss you my phone number by email, I think I have a great opportunity for you. We have the current bassist for Mark Slaughter wanting to redo some songs. Hell yeah. Did you give him my email?
No, I can type
Here, I'll type it in real quick.
Yeah.
Here's my email. I'm putting it in right now. So go ahead and email me, buddy, and we'll work that out. Thank you so much. Box Pathfinder, if you chord scales, etc., you basically have an understanding of theory. Yeah, I mean, just the best way to learn theory, too, is just play a chord, loop it, and just noodle over it, and you'll find all the parts on the fretboard that work. And then just take all that noodling, move it up a whole or half step, depending on where you go. So there's all kinds of ways to cheat and do that. Renaissance Man says, I watched Steve Stevens of Billy Idol Theory worth a million famous guitarist knows zero theory. Tone Wars, but awesome player. Oh, thanks so much, dude. Seriously, thank you so much. And I hope that, God, I hope I don't sound like I'm putting myself up on a pedestal here, but I'm really, I say this with all humility. I hope that anybody that enjoyed like what I did tonight knowing that I didn't have to go to school and do theory classes and like I don't know anything. I don't know anything about
You just need thousands of dollars to buy your gear.
Yeah, yeah, just buy some decent gear and play, practice, noodle around, and let your ears tell you, because your ears will tell you if you're hitting a dissonant note. And sometimes in metal, dissonant notes are good. So there's exceptions to everything. But
Sometimes.
Yeah, but the rule is, if it sounds good, it is good. And just play. And if you like what you hear, I guarantee you there's plenty of other people that'll like it too. So if I can do it, anybody can. Because I really...
Because he's an idiot.
Because he's a big dummy. I can be. So, thanks so much. Well, again, thank you so much, guys. Very much appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Like and share.
Yes, please like and share.
Thanks for all the super chats.
Yes, thank you so much and for the kind words. Seriously, I can't even express how much it means to us when we see all the names in there and the interaction. It really does make our night very much. So I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. I don't know what amp I'm going to have, but pay attention to the community section. I'll post a picture of it up there, and we will see you all then. God bless you all. Thanks you.
Thanks you.
Thanks you very much.
Thanks you. That was super.
That was super.
It was a super episode.
Super episode. All right. See you guys soon. Bye.